and welcome to the Patreon exclusive edition of Black, White, and Red All Over. I'm Victor Dandridge.
Ryan Seymour.
And we're about to jump deep into Excellence #1, courtesy of Image Comics Skybound imprint. Hello, Brandon Thomas and Kari Randolph. So here's the thing. These guys are very well known. Brandon Thomas, he wrote Horizon. That was also through Image. Kari, he did Mosaic. He did the designs, the artwork for it, for Marvel. So these are some well-established guys. I didn't like... Okay, so when I first heard about this, it was on a trailer that was on Facebook. How did you first... Was that it, or...
For me, it was in the previews order pack.
Okay.
Because I was like flipping through, and there was like a 2 or 3 page preview, I think, in it. And it was one where the creators I like.
Right.
But I was very concerned that it was another bite at the Magic Order apple.
Dude, that was huge worry for me too. I felt like it was Black Magic Order at first, mixed with a little Harry Potter, and I was like, okay, you guys are stirring up a lot of gumbo. This had better be good, so that it's not just Black Harry Potter and the Magic Order. Like, that's actually, I should write that, Black Harry Potter in the Magic Order. I feel like, as parodies go,
you're safe.
Yeah, like that's, I'm in there.
Hardcore safe.
I could probably turn that into a porn parody though. If I put like Magic Order of the Penis, and that's
kind of like Titty Slickers 2, The Legend of the Golden Curlies.
Whenever I think there's a level, and you just go
like, oh my God.
Wow, because you just rolled out with it. I thought I was creating magic. Never mind, the magic is here. All right. So
and this is what people that aren't patrons are missing. Like, it's me stuttering during the regular episode. Like, I have to censor myself in this one. I'm like,
this one you're like, get it. I'm scared. Sorry. So, all right. So we start this off with rules, which is always an interesting thing. What I love is the subtle details that they actually have, like a form of counting with this design work here, which is really cool. But they're called the 4 walls. Wall number 1. The protection and defense of the undeserving is not allowed. And I'm like, dang, who's undeserving? Like, what a statement. Okay, that's what's up. The creation of a magician's wand without permission is not allowed. I'm like, rigid. Like, but I can't just wand something? It's got to be permissed? Really? That's what we're doing? The casting of spells without an approved wand is not allowed. Now you are just being...
So if I lose my wand and I don't have time to get permission,
I'm just done. Like, I can't do anything. Like, I just got to sit there and twiddle my thumbs. And then last but not least,
that's gonna
number 4, the use of magic by females is not allowed. Now, when I read that, I'm like, these guys are asking for trouble.
That's a Twitter hashtag.
That's, oh man, like, easily. Because, okay, so both the writer and artist are Black creators, and there's going to be a strong contingent of voices like that are going to support because they're Black creators, and a huge dominant portion of that are going to be female Black readers. So to read that, I'm like, oh Lord, you just alienated like your probable strongest base.
There has to be some incredibly important reason that will make sense within the context.
So that's what I was hoping for. All right, so then we see a certain order here, and it's the Aegis. That's how you pronounce that, yeah? Aegis? Okay, that's how I pronounced it, so I was hoping that I wasn't alone. I'll take over this first one, if you don't mind. I just don't want you to feel in a certain kind of way. The top of it is the Overseer, and their casting color is white.
It's here. I didn't...
I felt like it would be in poor taste for Rye to say that one. You guys paid good money to be in this grouping. I didn't want you to feel a certain kind of way, like, so that's where the white comes in on Black, White, and Red. No.
I was not. Nope.
He wasn't consulted. He wasn't asked. He wasn't suggesting anything. Okay, this is just what it says. You want to do the other ones?
Sure. The 10th, the casting color is purple.
Right.
Patrons, casting color blue. And then we've got at the bottom there, we've got Rooks, casting color green. The average age of a magical activation, male, which I think is interesting that that's specific for male, is 5.1 years old.
So what's interesting is it seems like this is like a Citadel type place in your average metropolis, presumably New York-esque. And I don't know if this is a place that everyone can see. somehow the golden structure of it,
Yeah, it really looks like it would stand out.
like hugely, and I just don't know that everyone can see this. And what we witness is a baby boy being born.
Yeah.
Spencer Raymond Dales, to be specific. And I mean, we like literally go through the act of the birth here, where even the cutting of the umbilical cord.
There's some kind of light or something.
Yeah.
Which is magic actually passed down?
I literally think that's a wand.
That could be.
Yeah. I think that's a wand, like somehow blessing even the cutting of the umbilical cord. Like,
see, I don't know. I thought, well, yeah, because why would you need a wand if another scalpel if you got scissors,
right?
Because I didn't know if it was like magic was passed down maternally.
Maybe, but like even though the ladies aren't supposed to use magic, which is messed up.
Yeah, there's got to be. Yeah.
So strange. So we have a midwife ready to present the baby. Mr. Dale, sir, whenever you're ready, it's the baby. Yeah. What I love is like the subtlety. If you're not paying attention, like if you really are just skimming through this book, you will miss the subtlety of the notes that are written. And I think that's a cool thing. Shout out to Darren Bennett for lettering this. And I think that's a really cool move to make it such a small thing that you don't notice. Okay, so we clearly see, I mean, very Wakanda-esque with the advanced tech, with the African, artwork mixed in. There's some very interesting things in that setup. I forgot that was one of the things that I felt from it. It was like, oh, it's Black Panther rolled up in there and just boom.
And it's not. We'll get into it a little bit later,
right? But
it's not a world that is populated just by people of color,
right?
The magic users are.
Yes.
And which I think is really, really interesting. We'll get to it.
All right, so what we get is a nice little expositional piece that's basically talking about the notion that every story that you can think of note, is predominantly this story of fathers and sons. Now, I didn't mean to be contrarian, but immediately I went Disney princesses and was like, none of those are about father and sons. No. I just could not turn that off. I don't even know why I did that.
There.
It just kind of came out. But I mean, there are a lot of them. I mean, Hamlet, to a degree, even Romeo and Juliet is about fathers and sons, because if it wasn't for Romeo's father being who he is,
none of that would have been an
him and Juliet could have been fine. They could have lived happily ever after. It would have been awesome. All right, so we get Dales, Mr. Dales, and he's very proud of the fact that his son is now in this world. And I mean, man, I've felt this. Look at you, my perfect little man, going to give you everything. You understand? Everything I never had. Just excitement. Rushing down the halls, cast a spell to alert waiting family members to say, he's my boy. He's my boy. So beautiful. So beautiful. Looks like on their way home, they are being looked after as though they are of the utmost importance. Yeah. I mean, we're talking security guards. The only thing that they're missing are flowers being thrown on the feet of those walking by. This is tremendous. And we get like a quick montage that shows young Spencer growing up. Yeah. I think this was really smartly done in a really cool way. But there's still little things here. So it looks like Spencer's mother, while...
Yeah, because like the age 1,
right?
Spencer's being levitated. Age 2, he's being tucked in by his father using magic to move the cape or move the blanket. 3, though, is the father's levitating, but the mother also has that same aura around her.
Right. And she's praying, so I'm not sure if that's a thing or is it something that he's projecting, because Spencer doesn't have it. Yeah. Which I think is interesting. Yeah. Age 4, we see Spencer is in like wand training session. He's got like a starter wand. Yeah. And there's an older boy that's there that's also practicing. Yeah. Under the tutelage of his father. Age 5, he gets his very first wand, which is a family heirloom passed down from father to father to father. And
Just imagine that. Like how many generations back that goes, and imagine his father with that pride, that love.
Man.
Like, you're the next man.
Let's
do this.
You're the one. Man. And then we get to probably the heaviest page of the entire book.
Yeah.
The coloring is perfect. The characters are rendered in like this deep blue that just adds melancholy and somberness to the whole thing, with a nice stark, like the red of the background.
Yeah.
Beautiful contrast. And it's Mr. Dales lamenting hard to his wife that clearly there is something wrong with this boy because
he's 6 and he hasn't manifested.
The average age is 5.1. Okay, like a month after you turn 5, you're supposed to manifest. And I mean, he's doing the gamut here. I mean, they're dag near on a Maury episode. Yeah, declaring that maybe it ain't his kid. Yeah, you know.
Because he starts off kind of like, oh, people are thinking it,
right?
And then even he says like he's supposed to be my boy. So it's like hinted. It's like this backhanded,
right?
Sort of
like, what you been doing, girl?
Yeah.
But what I do love, and this is so very Angela Bassett in her presentation here. She like his mom does not back down. Yeah. She's like, look, don't you ever come at me like that. Like this whole end of my bloodline thing. Like, don't start with that. Like that is you and your fear. Cut it out. Yeah. Like cut it out right now. And you know, the notion that clearly Spencer must know that his dad is disappointed.
Yeah, and he has to live with that.
Right.
And he's trying. It's like he's not, and you can see from the way he's drawn and all these things, he is giving all that he has to give, and there's no encouragement. There's just disappointment. There's the insinuation that maybe you're not really my kid.
Right. And that's brutal. So the next page. Totally inspired by The Matrix. Yeah. Shout out to Kari for that one. They're basically in his dojo, joined by more people. Yeah, which is definitely devastating. The older kid that we saw before has more of a Killmonger-esque hairstyle and has a total swagger that is amazing. Yeah, and Spencer is still failing. Age 7, age 8, age 9, failing.
Tears running down his face further and further as he get in each of those panels showing he's getting older.
Because he's just not getting it, no matter what he does. And his father is congratulating the other boy. Yeah. You know, showcasing like he's so proud of this other kid. Yeah. And what Spencer says is like, look, after so long of disappointment, the only thing that you have left is rage. Yeah. Like that pain becomes something huge, significant. Yeah. And to that end, at age 10, twice the age that one normally manifests.
He does.
Spencer does.
Violent. An explosion that rips a hole in that school.
Yeah. And man, what an origin story. Like the way this is split up. So those few pages right there is basically setting up the origin story of Spencer. Yeah. And we have that, and then we go into this statement that the 10th, remember their color is blue, right? Is that what we had? No, the 10th color is purple, sorry. Yeah. For the 10th, which seems to be this family, we have a family tree here, and we see the Dales are pretty high up. Mm-hmm. We've got the Jackson family, the Mitchell family, Pope, Robinson, Adams, Smith, Clark, Walker, and Hill. And it seems like that's something important.
Yeah, they're one of the original 10 families, or really, really close to that is what it feels like.
And then, of course, the Dales are highlighted here to see what exactly we've got going on. So we finally find out this other kid's name, which is Aaron. And it seems as though he's kind of in a big brother position.
Yeah.
You know, he's not, Spencer's brother, clearly, but he's definitely older and has succeeded in so many different ways. Yeah. And he's like, okay, now that Spencer has shown some promise here, what do you want us to do? You want us to ease in or what? And Senior Dale is like, nah, dude, it's not your fault that he's late. It's his fault that he's late. So
break him. Give me something I can use. And he's taken, like, each of these panels, he is getting whooped
hard. Age 11, whooped. Age 12, whooped. age 13, whooped. And at age 12, he's even specifying that he's being beaten by kids that are younger than him,
Yeah.
that have manifested at their appropriate age,
Yeah.
and he still can't do it.
Yeah.
So he finally realizes that all the anger that had fueled him for so long really wasn't powering him.
Yeah.
It was actually trapping his ability. And at age 14, he's finally figured out
Let's go.
what to do.
Now he's free.
And at age 15, he's dominant. I mean,
Ready to take that test.
yeah. So here comes my favorite character in the
Grandma.
whole
I
thing.
love Grandma.
Gigi is the greatest. Days later, she keeps it real. Gigi is that character that there is no fooling her.
Yeah.
She is what she is. She knows what she knows, and she's gonna call it like she sees it. You're a fool if you try to trick her.
Yeah.
That's your fault, because she keeps it 100. She's a cussing grandmother. The only thing that she was missing was a cigarette.
I was feeling the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. That's the only thing she's missing. She cusses. It's so good. And she's doing hair.
Yeah.
But again, notice right there.
Yeah, she's floating.
She's floating. She is using magic. And I have to wonder if this is something that behind closed doors is allowed, and that's the stipulation,
Yeah.
or maybe this family is so prestigious.
They just don't care.
Right, they just gonna let that happen. So they're talking about the test, the essential Kobayashi Maru of the ages here, and how young Spencer is getting ready to take this test. In a lot of ways, Michael B. Jordan, if he doesn't play the role of Spencer, someone's failed, because I believe visually he was designed
got the
off
look.
of him. He definitely was. And it's really cool. What she breaks down is that this test is really about seeing who you actually are.
Yeah.
Like it's figuring out what you are willing to do in order to get the job done.
Yeah.
And maybe, in some cases you are fully prepared, maybe you're not. But the actual trick is you're supposed to fail.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh, that is very Kobayashi Maru, isn't it? I like it. But in this thing, she does something that I think is very interesting.
Yeah.
And she goes, so let me ask you a question. Do you want to know the secret to get through this? I mean, she's been around for a while.
Yeah.
She's seen some things, heard some things. And of course, he's like, well, listen, did my dad know? And she's like, your dad's many things. A cheater ain't one of them. So no, he didn't ask me for it. So he's like, okay, well, then that's what it is.
Yeah.
Wish me luck. He goes to to the school, basically signs in, is ready, right?
Yeah, the school's got to be invisible to people. Like,
It's got to, man.
Because of
'cause,
magic.
I mean,
you got
you got strange, wonderful people walking in and out of this place.
Right?
You can't. I mean, this is crazy. Man, I love this scene here where he's casting spells and you see the strobe imagery. Oh, that's awesome.
It's like he's showing, like, all right, here's all my skills.
Yeah,
Let's do this.
it's so amazing. So he presents himself, bends the knee, and then is hit with a spell to astral project himself into this test. And things are ready. What he's supposed to do is find the person that he's assigned to that does not have any protection.
Yeah.
They are a deserving person, and he is supposed to find them and protect them against 3 other members, 3 who have probably already passed this test. So when he arrives in this facsimile place, if it's not real,
because from what I gather, like, if he gets hurt there, that scar actually stays with him.
Absolutely, because when we see Aaron earlier, he's got a rough scar on his mouth, and there's clearly some issues there. So he lands in the road and actually has to kind of use a little bit of his abilities to escape getting run over in traffic.
It's really, really cool. Like, I would love to see this in either live action or animation.
Absolutely.
He goes from that superhero landing in the middle of the road with cars coming at him to a backflip through a sunroof into another car rolling out the back door
Yes.
to get away.
Now he immediately gets a point deduction because he's exposing himself. Like
Yes.
you're not supposed to show that you're a magic user. And of course, you know, they actually state like 73% of patron candidates maintain complete cover for nearly 3 minutes before.
Yeah.
And of course he's like, were they thrown into traffic? Because I'm just curious as to how they did that. Being thrown into traffic. Like I was literally just thrown into traffic, but
Or is he thrown into traffic because of whose kid he is?
and that I think is the case. All right, so here's the interesting thing. This book is clearly a black comic.
Yes.
It officially becomes a black comic
Yeah, that panel right there.
in this panel right here. If you are at all adverse to the N-word used as a common vernacular for person, this ain't the book for you, because you will feel uncomfortable, at least in this moment. But I do think that it's important. What it does is it sets a contemporary tone of who these characters are.
Yeah.
And what's even more interesting is there is a statement later that comes on that says that stuff is inappropriate.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if we'll see it anymore directly showcased here, or if it's going to be privately, like as they interact with one another, as often happens amongst contemporary youth today. So yeah, I love it. Like he immediately goes into a cloak form to hide where he is, and they try to, you know, figure it out. Like, where'd he go? Where'd he go? My man is taking off up the building.
Yeah.
Literally running upwards. You know, it works because people don't ever look up. That's an old Spider-Man rule.
Yeah.
People don't look up.
You can climb up a building. Nobody will see it because nobody's going to.
Yeah, nobody looks up. And what's great is he's getting points for doing the things that they wouldn't have expected, which is great. Like you see, like as he's doing this, points are assessed and he's being rewarded points. I love the non-mystical evasion point increase for non-reliance. That's awesome. But all of a sudden his path is like struck. I mean, how do you want to put that? Like
there's like a bolt of some kind of eldritch magic that just stops him dead.
Right.
And that's where he's like Aaron Mills, because Aaron's the one that shot it. And Aaron volunteered for this particular job.
Dirty. And it's kind of crazy because he very like, I don't know, mightier, like holier than thou even is, you know, out of respect for your father, won't tag you too much because, well, you know, the wounds, scars, whatever you get during our assessments, we get to carry that around with us. And you can see like he's grown his facial hair to kind of mask the scar that he got.
Yeah.
And, you know, like,
I mean, whatever got him good.
Oh, it did. And Spencer, you know, kind of teases him about it. And what is awesome is in this moment is using a form of magic that calls for a mirror version of himself. They're on this reflective, you know, surface, so he's using it. Dude.
Yeah, because that is so cool, because the mirror version's got the green glowing eyes.
Yes.
And I'm like, something's happening here.
What is this? Like, this is a thing. And then all of a sudden there are these multiple versions of him racing up the side of this building to add further confusion, which is great. The other, you know, pieces, they're being assaulted. The instructions are being projected to him. And I think this is interesting. So what they are to do is protect and embolden even their charge. We get introduced to the first non-black characters of this piece here. Do we get his name? We don't even get his name.
I don't think we get a name.
Wow.
We just get some dude that is supposed to pop the question to his girl.
Yeah.
And makes me wonder, like, is it happening in real life? Like, that's the thing, is I really
That's
wonder.
what I think. I think it's literally happening in real life. And that the notion is there's a chance that he's going to back out. That he's going to punk out and not do it. And so Spencer is set in the position. He's like, I'm giving him the push right now to make this happen. I'm about to win. Haha. But psych, no. Aaron swoops in and blocks him. And he's like, you know, you failed. The man lost his nerve. And now without her, he will never be what he could have been.
Yeah.
Move in, fellas. Sacrifice, commitment, humility. It's how the rest of us manage. The ones that weren't just born special.
Yeah. So there is that.
Man, they have some resentment there.
Yeah.
Because Mills is his last name, and as we go back and look, Mills is not on the 10th chart.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. So
there's definitely a sentiment statement that, oh, you just were given this power, you didn't earn it.
That's because there's a two-edged sword, because like Aaron's been mentored by the father.
Yes.
So he has he has some respect for him, but at the same time,
no respect for his son.
Yeah.
None. The other two managed to disarm young Spencer.
Yeah.
And then commits to like stomping him out.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
They're beating his ass like
hard, man.
Yeah, it's not even like we've got you like in an arm bar, you're not gonna be able to cast anything.
Yeah.
They're kicking him in the head
like
while he's on the ground.
hard stomping him. Like, this is rough. Observation, disarmed by support team. Reminder, disconnection from primary weapon for longer than 18 seconds results in automatic assessment failure. Yeah. And his father is the one who's giving him this statement. Yeah. You were not ready.
That's the worst kick in the face.
Yikes. Now, okay, as a creator, page turn reveals are everything to me. Yeah. This is one of the best page turn reveals I have seen in a long time.
Yeah.
You turn the page after his father says, you were not ready. And we see he's walking out of his grandmother's house. Wish me luck. Before he leaves, he goes, Gigi, tell me the trick. A win by any means is a win.
Yeah.
Dude is, and she smiles.
Yeah.
She wanted him to ask so bad. So bad. I love it. I love it. What she reveals is that the trick is the wands.
Yeah.
They are so reliant on the wands that that's the weakness.
Yeah.
You know,
separate somebody from the wand.
Haha.
You've lost.
You've lost. Because their rule is you're not supposed to do magic without using a wand.
Yeah.
Without using a permissed wand at that. But this whole exercise is a tactic on sacrifice.
Yeah.
What are you willing to sacrifice? And I think this is one of the best things ever, is she basically says, the thing that you have to do is be in a position where instead of asking for permission, you're willing to ask for forgiveness instead.
Yeah.
I'll break a rule to do what I needed to do because that's what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Kobayashi Maru, like right there. So what he does is he uses his power to essentially destroy this little restaurant spot, blows the couple like up off the whole nine, and ironically changes the entire dynamic.
Yeah, because the dude now is reaching out, saves his girlfriend from falling to her presumed death, and now that trauma has inextricably linked them and given them. He's going to pop the question now.
Yes.
No fear.
And what was great is the move itself forces Aaron to go from the offensive to defensive and actually save these people.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody else is like, what are you doing? Like, you're lucky that this is what happened. And he's like, it's not luck. That was the plan. You know, if he saved her, they're now like together. He'll never let her out of his sight whatsoever. He's gonna pop the question, and she's gonna say yes.
Yeah,
like,
and because Aaron saved that, I'm like, they're in the real world. I don't think this was like a fantasy setting.
I don't think so either. Yeah, take away his fear of what could happen, and this dude will never be this afraid ever again in his life. Wow,
it's kind of true.
Check and mate. They are transported back, and he is ruled as having passed. Expert style, pretty dope. Like, they hug in a way I don't think they've hugged in I don't know how long.
Yeah, because in this moment, his son is no longer a disappointment.
Right.
Like, all of his fears are gone.
Gone, absolutely, 100%. And yet, if one has watched Charmed, you know magic has a cost. Magic has a cost. So, as they're leaving, someone is there. One of the messengers, Mr. Dales, tried to get you this message as soon as word came. What's wrong? There's been an accident.
Yeah, the thing is, when Lester puts his hand on Mr. Dale's shoulder, in that look of,
what are you doing? Like, is it that bad? Yes, it is. Gigi, something has happened. And I can't help but immediately have the feeling like, because she told him, this is magic getting her back. Everyone's crying. They don't know if she'll wake up. They don't know what to do. Mr. Dale is like, it's too soon. I'm not ready. And of course, Spencer's like, we can fix her.
We've got magic.
We can do this. We have the means to do this. All we got to do is just go back and get one of the things. Like, we can just go get one. There's like a whole bunch of them. It's Gigi. Like, what are you talking about? Why is this even a question? Let's just go get it.
Yeah, but it's against the rules.
It's against the rules. No. The answer is no. We will get her the best doctors that we can. That's what we will do. That's it. Because if we break the rules, what are we? We are nothing. And Spencer says, if we don't do anything,
we're nothing. Who's right?
And so, at age 19, it looks like he is making some arrangements, some agreements with some people that
they don't look like people you should be making arrangements with.
Not at all. Not at all. I don't know if this is a matter of the overseers showing up, and this is like a future image. Like low-key think that's what it is. You got the Aegis building kind of on fire, and that the overseers have shown up, and they're like,
is he making a deal? Is he begging forgiveness?
I think they're about to put the hurting on him. In all honesty. But yeah, this was a fun book.
Oh yeah.
Very fun book.
It is.
Excellence is just that. No two ways about it. No two ways about it.
Definitely a must read.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you guys for being our Patreon members. If this is your first time checking us out, hopefully you've enjoyed it, because this is what we do every week in addition to our free show that is spoiler free. But this one, clearly we get into it.
Yep.
We page by page.
Hit us up if you have requests. Hit us up on Twitter or also on our Facebook page and let us know which books you want us to review and spoil for you.
Because we will do that. We will do that for you. Because we heart you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're excellent.
You are.
Yes.
I like how that ties in.
Right?
Yeah.
Plan that. I'm a writer. I don't know if you know that. Vantage in House. It's also excellent.